Hello and welcome to the Dojo Live recap show this Tuesday, September 5th, 2023. My name is Kim Lantis and joining me is my beautiful co-host, America Guerrero.
Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. We usually do the show on Monday, but we're coming off of the Labor Day weekend. Hopefully it was a great long weekend for everyone, of course. And yeah, we're getting back in the groove. It's a Tuesday that feels like a Monday. Perfect. So what do we do in the recap show? We talk about our last week's shows as a way to encourage you to watch them if you haven't done so already. You can do that at our site, dojo.live, or of course our YouTube channel as well. You know, last week we just had one show, but it was a really great show. We talked about the e-commerce revolution and the power of biometric checkout. This was with Deepak Jain, who is the CEO and founder of Wink. And really, we wanted to specifically hone in on how this is redefining online transactions and, of course, the user experience for retailers. But what were some of your takeaways from Deepak's show, America?
What I remember is that during the show, we discussed how technology aims to revolutionize online transactions and user experience for retailers. So Wink uses this facial recognition and voice authentication, allowing consumers to replace traditional passwords with biometrics. So basically, the systems allows the consumers to have this authentication system and prompt for voice verification if it's necessary. So there are different kind of paths that you can follow to instead of having passwords. That's great.
Exactly. I mean, when I think of biometrics, the first thing that comes to my mind is the visual side, which is definitely a component, you know, like a facial scan or fingerprinting or something of that sort. Voice didn't really register with me until Deepak was talking about it, and I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. And then I had to kind of internally laugh because it reminded me of that. I'm always about the movies. I watch too much TV. Apparently I need to read more. But the Edna mode and guest cracks me up. But yes, okay, so what Wink focuses on, I think, is the facial scan and then also the device authentication. And then if voice has to come in as a kind of third form of authentication, they can go ahead and do that when the platform or the system maybe has, you know, it's not falling within their parameters and there's any type of a doubt there. For example, if you're logging in through a device that you don't usually use, or maybe it's a brand new device that isn't registered yet and things like that. So it's really cool. And I think what we're doing is solving two problems here. One is just speed and convenience. And also it's just an additional security feature, right? Much, much harder for fraud. And I think e-hackers or just, you know, fraud in general, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, and also I remember Deepak mentioning the versatility to biometrics to use this kind of technology beyond e-commerce, such as healthcare and transportation. So if you want to listen to the conversation and know more about how we can expand this tech with other verticals, it's really amazing. I think he shared a healthcare story, right? Or it was
he did. I think that's it might be where they're going in the future. I think there's a couple conversations that have taken place and just the wide variety of applications of this type of tech, right? Wink themselves, I think they focused on e-commerce first because, like with most startups in any business, you first have to go where there's profits to be made, and just the giant you know, vertical that is online shopping and just how it's easy to kind of apply there first. But yes, he was talking about a healthcare aspect where you're able to identify patients and just a lot faster, a lot easier with a facial scan and a voice scan than having to go through all other types of charts and even leaving less room, right, for human error. I think we talked about the idea of those horror stories in the past where, you know, babies get mixed up and things like that, where that's not going to happen, right? And then we also just talked about the hackability and how the tech is able to determine, you know, 3D versus 2D and all these types of things. And it's absolutely fascinating. I also thought that just Deepak as a person was a really interesting story. How, you know, back in the early 2000s, he was like, you know, has this ability to sort of foresee the future. How he just thought, there's going to come a point where everything we do is going to be happening on these smartphones. And he was right. But now he predicts that smartphones are actually going to be decreasing, and we're going to be including a lot of this other technology just in our living spaces, like in our homes, where you don't even need the phone, just with like Alexa, I guess, like your voice and other things are this authentication for you. So the rise of the smartphone, and now his prediction is that we're actually seeing not the fall, but a decline, I think, and as we're seeing other technologies fill in that space. And finally, he talked about his, what was it? People picking process.
Yeah, the importance of selecting.
Yes, as an entrepreneur, is to just be smart about who you choose to build your team with. And I thought that was a great story as well.
Yeah, selecting the right team and advisors when starting a startup, and suggest that the key to success lies in having adaptable and knowledgeable individuals with your team. People who are going to be there and support you, and who are going to believe in the passion and of the entrepreneur project that you have in your mind. So that is something that I will keep in mind in the future if I want to start something.
Yes. I love it. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, and we have the people picking process.
Yeah.
All right. So, we do not have a show lined up this week. We're going to be taking a bit of a break here on Dojo Live, but you can go ahead and check out more than 500 shows on our site, dojo.live. Click on that interviews page, and they'll all be lined up for you, newest to oldest. And of course, there's that keyword search or any theme. Pretty much you want to learn about it, we got it. Talking with, of course, the people who are making the tech of today and the future. Lots of people to learn from, lots of cool products out there. So go ahead and check that out. Have a great week, everyone. And hopefully we'll see you soon here on Dojo Live. Bye for now.